Guys, Q&A time. Slushy G, starting it off. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received? This is I actually have this answer on hand. Don't take criticism from somebody you wouldn't take advice from. So, if you don't care about their opinion, why would you allow that to control your life? It's a very, very good, useful piece of advice that has taught me a lot about how to live my life. Don't take criticism from somebody you wouldn't take advice from. So, highly, highly recommend living your life by that, because if some random dude is cussing you out in Valorant ranked, you shouldn't allow that to get to you, really. You should... Knight asked us a question. Do you like us? No. Seven asked us a question. If you had to commit one second-class felony, what would it be? Second-class felonies. Let me see. What's a list? Do you like us? Of course I like you guys, though, by the way. Let's see. 3 to 7 years in prison. The imposition fines of up to $25,000. I feel like... Oh, easy. Some of these are horrible. I feel like the easiest one is just possession of a stolen firearm. That seems like the easiest ones. That seems like the easiest answer. Some of these are terrible. Abuse, battery, assault. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I could just... All good. We got out of that one quick. Okay. Do you have any tattoos? If so, where? If so, where? If not, do you plan on it? And if so, if kind... Oh gosh. I can't read. My brain, dyslexic. This is my most visible tattoo. I have a Half Alive tattoo, which is my favorite band. I have a Air Nation tattoo right here. Oh gosh, on my ribcage. And then I have 3 tattoos on my thighs. I have a seal. Or sorry, the seal's right here. I have a smiley face that's made out of 2 of my freckles. And a little smiley face. And then I have, from the subathon last year, I have Bold and Brash, Squidward, right there. I don't plan on getting any more tattoos right now, but I definitely could see myself getting more in the future, for sure. I'm definitely not done, but I currently don't have any plans to get more. I might get all the elements on my ribcage, which would be sick, but it's gonna hurt so bad. My thought is maybe... Dude, I was at a 21 Pilots concert last night. I'm not gonna lie. Oh... Tyler's tattoos were so sick on his hand, or on his arms. He has obviously the neck and the hand tattoos, but then he also has a band literally right where my Half-Alive one is. Then he has another band and then another band up his arm. I could see getting like band tattoos on my arm. That'd be cool. Like up on my actual like bicep and stuff. That'd be kind of sick. Just straight up, just like a line there. Or not even a line, just a whole bar. Yeah. What is the biggest regret you have, and what's the biggest non-regret? Biggest non-regret. Okay, biggest non-regret, I'll start with that. Biggest non-regret? Both of these are financial. I think I don't have many regrets in life. I don't think actively on regrets as much as I can, because I think it's pointless. It's not something you can change. I think there's only times to reflect on regret when you can do something about it in the future and learn from it. So... For me, my biggest non-regret was buying my car. Like, this sounds so dumb, but I could have just bought like a beat-up 1998 Honda Civic or whatever, you know, and just like drove a car into the ground, and I could have done any car and it would have been fine. But I bought, when I could afford it, I saved up. I bought one car. My very first car was some Chevy thing from like 2005. It blew up on me within the first 2 weeks of owning that car. And so my parents helped get me a car. And then I drove that, but it was their car. It was like, it wasn't my car. It was just like, okay, I can use it while I'm in high school and stuff. And then, after a while, my brother and I were sharing the car, and I saved up for a while. And I bought back in how long has it been now? It's 2 years ago now? Was it really only 2 years ago? I bought a brand new Tesla Model S 2 years ago, and biggest non-regret. That is the funnest and like most expensive thing that I've spent money on that was a non-necessity. And like, dude, it was so fun. That car is amazing. I still rave about my car 2 years later. And it's like, I don't regret spending that much money on the car. At all. So yeah. Biggest regret though, same time. So this will, I think I've talked about this a little bit. I don't know if I've said the actual number, but this will come out at some point because we're going to make a video on it. It's not like I'm hiding anything. This is probably my biggest regret. And I don't mean this in the way that I totally regret it. So let me say it and then explain it. My biggest regret is the trampoline room. With that said, I don't hate it. I love the trampoline room. And it's awesome. But the price point that I was quoted at to build this room, because this whole room was custom built for me. The price that I was quoted at versus what it actually cost was about 3 times more expensive. It was so much more expensive that if I was working a normal job and wasn't in the position that I was in, I would have gone bankrupt. I would have probably like fully gone bankrupt and would owe so much money. It would have screwed me over for the rest of my life if I wasn't in the position that I'm in right now. And I feel like that was like borderline predatory what happened, because like that should not be legal. You quote someone at one price and then charge them that much more, adding things on and stuff, and like miscalculating, because that was just insane. We do plan on making a video actually diving into the finances of it and like revealing what that number actually is. I will say, just flat out, I don't think I've said this before, the first quoted price that I was quoted, not the final price, the price that was not 3 times, was already 6 figures. So I still owe some money on that. Thankfully I had a good support system, and my dad was willing to like loan me some money, and I still owe him some money, and he's a very generous man, and I'm very thankful to have that in my life. But like, seriously, if I don't say this to get pity or be in any sort of like bad or any like, oh my gosh, look at Keeoh or anything. But on top of that, I had a sponsor that was going to cover a good like 25 to 50% of that cost. And at the last minute, the sponsor backed out. And so that's actually why my dad ended up helping, because it was like, dude, what do we do? We need to keep the people moving. Like, we need to keep the construction crew going. And so my dad is a walking W. I love my dad, and he's very generous, and he's amazing. So again, at some point we will make a video on that. And again, I don't say all this to be like, man, hey, look at Keeoh, he's so poor and he's in debt, you know. But like, because I'm doing fine. I love what I do. I make enough money, and I'm like, I'm chilling, and I'm in the process of paying my dad back, because I will never be able to pay my dad back for the amount of generosity he has shown me throughout the years, but I'm going to try my best to pay him back, and even more if possible. So, anyway, that's a long answer to it, but there you go. So yeah, I hope that was an interesting Q&A question. That was pretty fun to answer. Again, we will answer that question even more in the future. Sir Streamer Extraordinaire, what is your favorite YouTube video so far? Like, of ones I've made? Favorite YouTube video that I made? The subathon video. 100%. That subathon video was phenomenal. Obviously, I spent 27 days of my life on stream, but then also we spent like another month, a year later after the event actually ended, editing the video and like going through it and making it amazing. And that video I would change so little on. That is like, there's so few things watching it back that I would ever want to change on the video. That video, from like start to finish, is a phenomenal like 45-minute watch. We made an incredible piece of content, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm happy to say that, you know. Another question: how many are in the closet? 6. The King Dolphin asked a question: how do you maintain such a long commitment to things? I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but like in terms of content or Twitch or YouTube, I've been streaming for 7 years. And I think just when I started streaming, I really fell in love with it. And like the game of making content and creating more content and like is kind of like an addictive cycle. The actual, like, cause like playing the game of Valorant and stuff is fun because you get to rise through the ranks. You know, you climb through the ranks, you challenge yourself and you get better at the game. In the same way, all of YouTube and Twitch is gamified. You get better at making content. The number of people watching your stream, the number of people, you know, viewing your videos, subscribing to your channel goes up. And that, like, obviously comes with a lot of benefits in life, but at the same time, it's very gamified and it's very fun. It's like, it's fun to make better content. It's fun to make more videos. It's fun to push farther. So I think that's probably how I stay so committed to it, is just like, I love it, you know? Do you want us to approve the questions on the channel point end? No, it's all good. I think it's fine for now, unless there's like, if there's like a crazy amount of questions right now. I think we have a decent amount. It might take me a minute to go through all of them, but if we run out of questions, we're good. How did you meet Shiro and Grim? Shiro I've known for 6 years, actually. I've been streaming for 7. I've known him. I actually may have even known him for 7. I believe I've known him since I started streaming. But we weren't like friends yet. We were friends after I started streaming. But Shiro and I used to play Overwatch and we were at the same rank at the same time. So we literally just met through Overwatch, and eventually we just like started vibing together one game and had like a lot of fun playing together. So we added each other on Overwatch and started playing. And then Fortnite came out. We both started playing Fortnite. And then Valorant came out. We both kept playing Valorant. So we've just been good friends throughout the years. You know, eventually we just moved in together. Grim, I just met online through Valorant and stuff. And then how did it lead up to you moving in with them? It was a little stressful because the complications, again, this will be in a video later that we am probably going to put on the main channel, honestly, is like the construction for this room took a year. It took just a full year. And it was painful. So it was tough because we were like planning on moving in for a very long time, and it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And that was a bit tense, but it all worked out. So, hey, you know. All right, Brookie Cookie, changing the gears here. What is your biggest tip on ranking up in Valorant? Biggest tip is if you are consistently asking yourself the question, for a couple different situations you can ask this question, but ask yourself, what did I do wrong in this situation? Like when you die in a round, how did I die? What did I do in this round to get me killed, you know, or whatever? And what could I have done to prevent it? And in the same way, ask yourself when you're using utility, what is this doing for my team? If you're just chucking raise nades or chucking turrets from Killjoy or whatever, and like you don't really know what they're doing, you're not really practicing good things. If you're just copying everyone because that's what they do, you're not really actively learning. You need to think about, okay, what is this actually doing for me? And then applying that, and then you're able to use that in however way you want. So, there you go. Yeah. Will you ever go back to Overwatch or Fortnite? Here and there. I do plan. I have one of the goals from the Amarathon is to do a 24-hour Overwatch stream, so that's coming soon. And but yeah, Fortnite I play here and there as well. Fortnite's fun. I always just go on a binge for Fortnite here and there, but it's I don't ever see myself like making long-term full-time content on either of those games, but I'll play them here and there for sure. Is there anything specific that helped change your life for the better? I think we already talked about it a little bit, but my dad, for sure. Both my parents are incredibly supportive. I can't under emphasize enough how much they have done to help set me up for success in both the way that I was raised, the way that I was challenged, and the way that I was helped to make this a career. I talked about this early on in one of my videos. I don't remember which video we talked about this in, but like when I was starting to stream full time, I had just finished my freshman year of college, and I sat my parents down. I said, hey, I really did not like school. I don't want to go back, and I think I can make something work streaming. I think this is something I'm good at, and I think I can do it, and I have the passion and the dedication, and I believe I can make it into something. And I told them that, and they were like, okay, we don't understand streaming. I don't get it, but I trust you enough, and let's like go ahead and do it. So I told them, you know, I didn't get an internship, and I started full-time streaming, just like, you know, with like 10 to 50 viewers, or not even 10 to 50, like honestly, like 10 to 20 viewers on Twitch. I just started it for one summer. And then I spent all my money on a PC. And basically what happened is I spent all my money on a PC, and the one part I didn't upgrade was the GPU. And like 1 week into streaming, like first couple days into streaming, my GPU died. I had no money left in my bank account. I went to my dad like in tears, and I was like, Dad, I don't know what to do. I want to try streaming. I'm out of money, and I guess I just need to go get a job or quit or something. Like, I don't know what to do right now. And my dad was like, hey, it's all good. I trust you. I still don't understand streaming. I believe in you. You're going to do this, and I'm going to buy you a GPU right now so you can try streaming. It's an early birthday present. Happy birthday. It was like a month and a half before my birthday, and I was like, blew me away. Literally 3 days later, after he had bought me that GPU, I got hosted by Tim the Tap Man for like 20,000 viewers. And so if I was not streaming that time, I would have not gotten the footing that I got that summer that allowed me to then get like a much larger audience and get signed to Cloud9. And then from that was the what's the word? The event, the Horizon event that cascaded my life into being a full-time streamer. That event right there, that act of generosity from my dad was it. So, yeah, big shout out to my dad. So, we love Todd, bro. Anyway, okay, if you had a chance to change something you did in the past, would you do it? Why or why not? Yes. We kind of already went this. Biggest regret, stream room. I would have... You don't know what you don't know. And so I couldn't have made this decision given the knowledge I had at the time. But if I could have gone into the situation knowing how much the stream room was going to actually cost, I would have instead saved that money up and just bought a bigger house with that money instead. Because then I probably could have found a house with a room that was suitable to transform for a cheaper price than building it all out myself. But again, you don't know what you don't know, and we couldn't have known that. So I would totally do that if I could take it back, but there's no way to do that. So there you go. Wallace asked question, do you like Australians? As much as you can like somebody from a made up place, you know, like Narnia or Atlantis, you know, it's funny. Australia. It's not really, doesn't really apply. So anyway, would you dye your hair again? If so, what color? I know you did yellow and pink so far. I've dyed my hair quite a few colors. I've done pink, lavender, purple, white, silver, and then obviously this was the clove speed run actually is what this hair dye was from. It's just grown out and turns to kind of bleach blonde, and we'll color correct it and stuff. Oh, I've done green as well. Yep, we did the gecko. So yeah, I mean, I'm always down to dye my hair whatever colors. I like dyeing my hair because then I like to grow it out. I like this look right now. I feel like this is my iconic like Keeoh look. I got the bleach blonde on top and my natural hair color on the sides. I feel like I'm the most like me with this hairstyle. Wallace, when are you starting OnlyFans? Yep. So that is why we don't like Australians right there. That question. Thank you. Moon Baby 1. If you had to move to a different country and start a new life, which country would you move to and why? Kind of. Oh, I have a lot of places I would like to go. I could see myself spending a lot of time in. I haven't been to the UK, but honestly, I think I have a decent grasp on the lifestyle there, and it seems fun. I've been to Spain, and I love Spain. I could totally see myself living in an apartment in Madrid. I could also see myself, despite how much I just bash on Australians, I could see myself living in Australia. I visited Australia a couple of years ago, and it was like amazing. The only thing that's not enticing about Australia is all the stuff trying to kill you. But besides that, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like Spain with the yes, unfortunately. Cool. What is your favorite chip flavor / brand? Dude, this is so bad because I feel like people don't like this very much. I really like Funyuns, man. I just, they're so bad. They're so not good. And like, I know they're bad and I know they like make your breath smell. They're not good. But like, Dude, Funyuns have just been in my head for the last like 6 months, and I've just been going to the store and getting Funyuns more. And I feel bad about it because they're not good, but they're like they're good, you know? They're like, anyway, they're so good, but they're not. But like, I want more. Sun chips are fire too. Flavor blasted goldfish are a good follow up. Barbecue baked lays are pretty epic. Yeah, the old 1, 2, 3. Also, white cheddar popcorn from Trader Joe's. Throw that in there. What do you recommend for someone who wants to get into content creation that already has a background in professional editing? Should they prioritize their content, their own content, or try reaching out to other people to edit? Untamed Diamond, are you still here, by the way? Just for if I'm answering this question, this one is from Untamed Diamond. So if you have professional editing experience, I would recommend doing your own content. If you think you have the drive and passion to create content, then if you want to get into content creation yourself, then yeah, prioritize yourself. But if you want to be an editor for someone, like if your goal is I want to be a full-time editor for a content creator, then I'd start reaching out to other content creators that are looking for editors. Or heck, dude, I'll give you a job for at least a couple like pickup projects to see what you got, you know. But it just depends. Like, it depends what your goals are. If your goal is for yourself to become a full-time editor, you should invest in yourself, especially if you're pursuing it as a hobby. I think the best streamlined process to become a full-time streamer is pursue it rationally and reasonably and as a hobby. I think first off, if you want to be a content creator, you need to first decide, do you actually like it? Try streaming. Streaming is a very low risk and low reward way of getting into content creation, getting used to streaming. There's a lot of small things that you have to get used to, like talking to a mic and talking to no one in chat. You have to kind of get used to hearing your own voice. And there's a lot of really small things that you learn as a small streamer that I think will make you a much better content creator in the long run. But, so yeah, I feel like it just depends. I think like make the decision of, do you actually enjoy streaming? Try it out if you want to make content in that way. I think streaming is just a good, easy way to gauge, do you enjoy content? It doesn't matter if you could do IRL content, you could do anything, you can do whatever you want. So, I need a foundation, so keeping it at hobby levels is where I'm at right now. Yeah, so pursuing it as a hobby first, decide if you really enjoy it, and then if you decide you really enjoy it, take it to the next step of a hobby where you're investing a little bit more into it. Okay, maybe you are making the goal of, I'm going to put one really good YouTube video out every 2 weeks. I recommend, for anything in life, but especially content creation, it's really easy to get burnt out and then get really big spills of motivation every once in a while where you just go like, holy crap, I'm gonna make a TikTok, a YouTube video, and all these things every day. I'm gonna do it every single day. And you know what you do? You post one TikTok and a video, and then you post another TikTok and a video, and then on day 3, you're like, okay, I have a TikTok, but I don't have a video. And then day 4, you don't have a TikTok or a video, and you're like, damn, I'm behind. And then day 5, you're like, okay, I might as well just give up because I haven't done it. So I think the biggest thing you can do for yourself, if you want to take a hobby to the next level or anything to the next level, set a goal you know you can crush. You know you can crush it. It's like, it's easy. And like, you know you're going to do it, that you might as well do 2 of them. Set a realistic goal that you, like, not even a realistic goal, set a goal you can crush. I'm saying, like, if your goal is to become more of a creator, post 1 YouTube video a month that is longer than 4 minutes. Make a video that's longer than 4 minutes in 1 month. That's super doable. That is if you have more than 3 hours in your month that is free, you should be able to do this. And then on top of that, post 1 short or TikTok, 1 short form piece of content once a week. If you do that for 6 months to a year, you're going to get into this rhythm of being able to do it a lot quicker and quicker and quicker. And then what's going to happen is you go, okay, I posted 1 video a month, and that was kind of easy. I realized that I could actually do it in every 2 weeks really easily. So, okay, I'm going to raise the goal. Let's go 2 videos a month. And then we're going to go 4. Then we're going to go 6. And you slowly chip at it until you're into the rhythm of actually doing a lot of things. Because if someone was getting into content creation and jumped into like my schedule, I don't say this to have an ego, you would be swallowed by how much there is to do. And not in the way that like, oh crap, there's so much to do. It's you have to hone in and practice and learn each little individual piece so that you can do it quicker and faster and better, and not get crushed by this demotivation of, oh man, I'm already so far behind, you know? So, I'm reading questions in order from the channel points and 100-bit donations, by the way, Boot Art. So I'm going to keep moving through those, but all good. Anyway, so I hope that helped answer the question, and I hope that applies to people as well. So yeah, run it up. When are you becoming an old school RuneScape streamer? Dude, maybe. One of the things on the wheel is level up my old school RuneScape account 10 times. So get 10 total levels. So hey, there we go. Who is your least favorite mod? Probably Amar. Can he be my least favorite and my favorite? What's a good analogy for people like that? Okay. What was something you did that people told you not to do, but you did it anyways, and ended up either suffering from it or gaining something from it? Dude, streaming. Literally streaming. There are people in my life that made fun of me for streaming and told me I was making a huge mistake that now like have a ton of respect for me. And you know, I obviously kind of have slightly different opinions about them now because they told me, they just, you know, weren't speaking from a place of truth. But I literally had someone like relatively close to me say, hey, like pull me aside one day and said, hey, I just want you to know, I think you're making a very huge mistake and I think you need to go back to school because you're not going to make anything happen. And I was like, thanks for your opinion. And I walked away. I left the event I was at. That was it. And then I became a full-time streamer. And then eventually he came back and he actually started to understand actually what happened, or like how the actual streaming industry worked. But the person I was talking to just didn't really understand streaming and didn't really understand. I guess they just thought I was just like playing video games in my underwear all day, and that was just what I was doing. They thought I was throwing my life away, which is, it was coming from a good place, but it was coming from a place of not knowledge. So, as, I don't know, man. How did you and Mel meet? I've known Mel for my whole life. Our parents were friends not growing up. Her mom sang at my parents' wedding, and yeah, they've been close family friends like our whole life. And then, yeah, we kind of just clicked almost 2 years ago now. And now we're chilling. That's great. Renegade Raider or $1 million? I'm gonna have to go Renegade Raider for sure. Yeah, you could always have $1 million, but can you have Renegade Raider? Do you have any advice for someone who feels stuck in life? I haven't been able to get a job, and I'm starting college next year, and I still have no idea what I do want to major in or do. Shenny, are you still in chat? This was 23 minutes ago, but I hope you're still here. Being stuck in life is a place where I think everyone gets at some point. I think everyone feels the... First off, I'll back it up and I'll get into it a little bit more, but life is in almost every way not linear. It goes up and down, and it is a roller coaster. And in life, you have to experience realistically the lowest of lows in life to have the ability to experience the highest of highs in life. You have to be able to see kind of the pitfalls to actually see the rainbows. I don't know. I'm just coming up with analogies here, but so it sucks when you're in a season and you don't understand where the ups are of that. But I think for your situation, if you're starting college next year and don't know what you're going to major in or do, this is the greatest time of your life to try things, to have fun with life and try as many things as you can. So when you go to school, and you can even start doing this wherever you're at right now. I don't know when you go to school, if it's like all the way next year or just a month from now, but when you go to school in college, get super involved in campus. Join clubs, make friends, talk to a bunch of people. This is like a insane time to get to know people around you and get to know yourself. And it is, you don't have to know your major. You have so much time to figure everything out. You do not need to know anything. No one knows what they're doing. I went to school for computer science, and if I finished school, I would have graduated with a business degree or an entrepreneur or something degree. I would have never finished in computer science. So you have so much time to figure it out. Definitely wouldn't feel like, you know, it sucks. It is a common thing to feel stuck in life, but I think the most important thing is to find things you're passionate about and pursue them, and pursue finding relationships that are meaningful to you, and find mutually beneficial relationships where you're pouring into other people and they're pouring back into you, and you guys are, you know, just creating, you know, amazing memories together. You know, that's really it. It's just finding people you love and finding things you're passionate about. Passion is like the most beautiful thing. Realistically, one of the biggest things I think if you're feeling stuck, that as weird as it sounds, find a physical activity that you genuinely enjoy. Try tons of stuff. Try golf, rock climbing, go mini golfing. It's anything to get you outside. Start doing that and find something you really enjoy. Pickleball, tennis, and dive into it for a little bit. Go to the gym, run, whatever you want to do. That's a great place to start. And then run it. And then that's a good place to start to actually have some sort of catalyst for change. And then from there, I think it just becomes easier and easier to branch out and try more things, you know? You got this. We believe in you. What is your favorite movie and why? Coming in from Wettest Fish. My favorite movie? Oh, it's got to be a Christopher Nolan film, and it's a little bit of a toss-up between Interstellar and The Prestige. I would say The Prestige is most likely my favorite movie over Interstellar. If there was one movie I wish I could watch again for the first time, it would be The Prestige. The Prestige is one of the... It's an amazing movie. And if you haven't watched The Prestige, watch it. It's amazing. It's so good. And just pay attention. Pay attention, lock in, and watch it because it's amazing. Yeah. Christopher Nolan's cool. All right. Wallace, do you think you would be as big as you are without the trampoline? I can't really answer that question. If I was able to take the money that I put into the trampoline room and use it elsewhere, maybe I could be bigger. Is kind of my thought with how much it all costs. So, that's why it's a little bit of a regret, because I think I could have invested it better. But, I don't know. Toss up. Can't really know. You don't know what you don't know. Can't dwell on it. Move on. Have you ever seen or experienced something uncanny that you can't explain? I don't know if uncanny is the right word, but I've definitely had some weird experiences in life. I think there's a spiritual side of life that is somewhat unexplainable. I don't know exactly what it looks like. I don't have all the answers or anything, but I don't know. I've had some like great experiences at concerts that, you know, you could probably explain with logic of just being like a state of more euphoric experiences. But I've definitely seen a lot of things in life that lead me to believe that there are extra elements to whatever life has, you know? This can't be just it, you know? If that makes sense. That's my thought. It can't be just this. There has to be extra things here. Thoughts on salt and vinegar chips? I love the variety of questions we have here. This is amazing. Icebreaker said, thoughts on salt and vinegar chips? I like them. It actually depends on the brand for me. Some of them are a little too salty, some of them are a little too vinegary, but sometimes you find the right one. Let's see. Ala. Hello, Keeoh from Saudi here. How do you know Elites? I met Elite when I was playing Fortnite back in the day. And, Elite's, Habibi Elite's one of my best friends. He's a great dude. So, yeah, we met playing Fortnite at some point. I don't even know how we met, honestly. Like, we were playing... I really don't know how it started. I think he used to watch me a bit, and then we just got in games together, and then he killed me at some point in Fortnite. I killed him, and then it just we just started playing tournaments together. It was awesome. So, I don't even know how it happened, but there was a point where Elite and I did, like, kill race tournaments once a month, and it was awesome. We made, like, a bunch of gifted subs every month because we were so good. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, will you ever love Aussies again? No, Wallace, definitely not. Is there a good time to upload videos coming from Wallace again? Or is it just upload whenever and pray? YouTube is consistent. Rewards consistency, I think, for the most part. So we tend to upload at the same time. I think also building an audience that wants to see, expects you to upload. Like, I upload at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Every video that I upload is at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Except for, like, when a new agent comes out. We just pump those out as soon as we possibly can, because it's more important to get it out for those events where, like, a new agent comes out, or we're starting a new speed run where it's, like, time sensitive. It's more important to prioritize that over the schedule. But for the most part, staying consistent on the schedule is more important. Yeah, if that makes sense. It's just like, because then you're building an audience that's, like, ready to watch your content when it comes out, you know? So, that makes sense. Bootart said, do you wear wigs? No. Thanks. Bootart also said, what is your opinion on strats.gg/lineup guide sites? I think lineup guide sites, coaching sites, all chill. The only thing that I would not really agree with are the sites that are like, we're coaching you. You can get a Radiant level player in your duo for $7 a game. I don't think that's cool. That's just boosting with extra steps. That's just... Oh man, yeah, a free site that shows you lineups and stuff. Yeah, that's chill. Like, Valorant Tracker has a massive catalog of lineups and stuff that are really good. So I think there's a couple sites that I'm like, nah, I don't ever want to work with you. But then there are other sites that I'm like, yeah, these guys, you're cool. I don't mind. I like coaches. Yeah. I think it's good to take lineups that you learn from other people or learn from websites and then test them out in game yourself and then try to, like, figure out, okay, how does this work into your playstyle? That's the best way. That's why I end up making most of my own lineups, because then while I'm making the lineup, I'm thinking actively, okay, is this a good spot for me to stand in? Am I realistically going to be able to be here in this situation or no? Because then I can come up with a lineup that's actually realistic for me and how I play. But you could definitely find lineups and then play around them that way as well. Oh, man. That's funny, Bert. All right. Boom, boom. What is your... Okay, Wild said, what is your favorite thing about Mel? P.S. We love you, Mel, if you're here. I think... It's hard to say one thing. But I think her creativity is always very inspiring and interesting to me, because I'm not creatively driven artistically. I'm very creatively driven in ideas and coming up with things and stuff, but I'm very bad at art. I'm bad at, like, Minecraft builds and stuff. And to see how her brain works with that is always very, very fun for me to watch and enjoy. So that's always fun. Oh man. How many from Fatty Sama, how many marble-sized rocks can you fit in one hand? At least 4. Dwayne said, do you believe in the statement, streaming is harder than a 9 to 5? So yes and no. objectively, I would have to say, okay, it depends. It depends. Realistically, it depends. If you are just streaming and you're able to be a full-time streamer, you wake up, you play video games, and you stream for 8 hours a day, and then you get off and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Streaming is way easier than a 9 to 5. Way easier than a 9 to 5. Okay? If you are a full-time content creator that also streams, that is significantly harder than a 9 to 5, I would say. I don't mean to be crazy egotistical. I'm gonna ask you this question though, guys. How much do you think I work a week? On average, let's say. How much do you think in a normal 40 hours is the normal work week? How much do you think I work in a normal work week? At least 2. 10 hours. You got soft hands, brother. True. Yeah. So I think most of you guys are pretty on. It's in between 60 and 80 hours a week, at least. I work 6 to 7 days a week, and I stream for 6 to 8 hours a day, sometimes more. And then I also coordinate it with editors, and then I also coordinate with thumbnails, sponsors, and make sure all the pieces of all the pieces on social media are going up. Coordinate, plan videos that I'm gonna stream and record, and then build them out and do all that stuff. I'm freaking Valorant brain. I said utility there. But yeah, no. So I think it really depends. Like, you know, but with that and the way that I've built up streaming, the way that I built up streaming though, I'm a big believer in that you in life have to choose your suffering. I think that I don't believe this is a philosophy that I've like come to realize on my own and not something I've just been fed and regurgitated I've listened to a lot of philosophical, you know, podcasts and stuff. But I think that in life you have to choose your suffering. You have to, if you want the freedom to not have to worry about, like in my position, I don't really have to worry about finances too much because of the position you guys have put me in by supporting me so much on YouTube and Twitch and all the other platforms and sponsors coming in. It's rare that I have to like worry a ton about finances, which I'm very, very thankful for, but that comes at a cost that I've sacrificed almost everything to get to this point. I sacrificed for about 4 years straight, hanging out with my family, hanging out with friends, and putting all that time into learning more about YouTube, learning more about Twitch, and streaming. If you look at my Twitch statistics, we can look it up right now, actually. We can look at my Twitch statistics of all time here. I can show you this flow chart of, not even flow chart. It's like how much you stream per day, basically. And there's a chunk, especially like starting with COVID or whatever. I'm really thankful for COVID on my end. I feel bad for that, but like that just like, you know, I feel bad that was one of the biggest reasons that I was like became a big streamer, but like that literally like that brought me onto the platform really. And look at this. So if you look at my Twitch statistics here, this is when I started, I made my account here or whatever. And then I started streaming April of 2017 is when I started streaming. And so by the end of this and at the start of this year, Fortnite came out, I finished school. I started full-time streaming then. This is from when I started full-time streaming is April 2018-ish. A little bit later, actually, is technically. It was more like June. But anyway, I streamed pretty much every day. Every day before pre-COVID. Almost every day in all of 2019. Look at this again. This is still pre-COVID. I was almost streaming every day. Look at in February, I took 1 day off of February 2019. And then 2020-ish, 2021 is where Valorant and COVID hit. And dude, I streamed. If you look at this, there's so few. You can count the days in 2020 that I took off, and you can count the days in 2021 that I took off. It's all the days that have a color on them are days that I streamed. All the days that have color on them are days that I stream. So there's like 1 day a week. And even now, even up until now, I take off a bit more time here and there because I have the freedom to, and I focus a lot more on YouTube content. But even now, I still stream almost every day, which is crazy to think about. So it's a hard question to answer, but like if you're willing to sacrifice everything. So, sorry, I didn't quite finish my thought. You have to choose your suffering. So you either can not worry about your finances and sacrifice everything and dedicate your life to a craft like this, where streaming, where you can be successful in that and have the benefits of the finances behind it, but comes at a sacrifice if you gave up so much to be able to do that. The other part of that is you can choose your suffering in the way that, okay, I'm not going to work as much, but I'm probably going to have to worry about finances a bit more. And I think most people in life have to make that decision. There's very few people that get a great 9-to-5 that pays all the money that they can and can't, like, I don't know how to wrap this sentence up, but like there's very few people that on both ends of that. Please go to share room and start clapping. Nah, we're almost done with this. We're gonna roll through these questions. I'll check it out later. Come work with me for a day. That'd be fun, dude. Keeoh tries a 9-to-5 for a day. So yeah, it really just depends. Like, I wake up at 10 most of the days, and then I start working. I go to the gym. I start working most of the time before I'm even, like, right when I wake up, I'm checking things and working. Like, today I got up at 10, pretty much instantly started working on stuff, and then we went to the gym, still working on stuff on the side, got back, had a couple calls, a couple meetings, instantly started working on more things. I've put in, realistically, a good 10 to 12 hours today with very minimal breaks. But that's my life. I love it. It's so fun. So but I get that not everyone wants to do that and not everyone would be willing to do that, but it also comes with a ton of benefits. It's amazing. So, all right. Silver Sid cheered 300 bits. What are your thoughts on balding short men who think they are 6'1" with docs on? I don't know what I just read. So, neat. Good stuff. If you could learn one skill from someone dead or alive, who would it be and what would you learn? That's a very interesting question. I'd want to learn stoicism from Marcus Aurelius and apply it to Valorant ranked and become the ultimate stoic. That's it. That's all I want. All right, Robin Hood, if you could choose between watching The Prestige for the first time and permanently muting Slushy, what would you rather do? Obviously muting Slushy. That's got to happen. He's out. Thoughts on Coke Zero coming in from Almonds. I don't love Coke Zero. I don't like anything that's diet. Diet or zero or anything. I feel like most of the time it's just worse for you. Like, I'd rather just give me the sugar instead. I don't care. You know? But like, I get it if you can't have sugar. You know, you have the diet stuff or whatever. But like, a lot of that stuff is even worse for you, dude. Oh, man. All right. Bootart, smart fella or felt fart smella? One smart man, he felt smart. Two smart men, they both felt smart. Three smart men, they all felt smart. Say that 3 times fast, guys. I bet you might smelt some farts there. 7 said, do you think humans took the wrong path of societal development? If so, what do you think humans should have done differently? That is deep. Socially, social media has become incredibly detrimental to our society over the last 5 years, I think. Maybe even 10. I don't know. Social media needs like some sort of, I don't know what we could do. It's out of control at this point. I would hate, I feel so bad for kids growing up with TikTok, especially girls like aged like 10 to 16 right now that are growing up with TikTok and being fed all of this stuff that like, you're not pretty enough, you're not beautiful enough, you need to have this product, you need to dress this way, you need to do this. I was wearing orange neon basketball like gym shorts when I was in 8th grade and tank tops and nobody cared. I didn't do any, I wasn't a cool person, you know, and it didn't matter because like Instagram wasn't a thing, you know? You were homeschooled. I still had social events, okay? I went outside, okay? in the words of someone I've looked up to a lot, I was the most social homeschooler you've ever known. And I went to public high school. But even then, dude, I just feel so bad, specifically for girls like 10 to 16. Their mentals are just like, it's so hard to like not be influenced by that at an age that you're so influenced by everything, and just being on social media is so toxic. Like I see so many things of like, yeah, people being depressed, and like they're, you know, writing some super long thing on Twitter. I'm like, you're 16 and you're this depressed. Like, what has social media done? Like, that's why parents exist. That should be their role. Yeah, but you can't, like, I agree. It is your role if you bring a child into this world that you have a responsibility to take care of them and, you know, shelter them to some degree of the toxicity that is around and build them with confidence and love and support and all that stuff. But my gosh, that not every parent's going to do that and have that same view of responsibility. So like, a lot of parents now, are exactly, Jazz. A lot of parents now are a day just like Gen Z, get fed an iPad without internet security. Dude, the amount of people that I just see like at a freaking Chili's dinner table with their 6-year-old screaming bloody murder at the table, they just go, fine, give him the iPad, you know, and just slap this giant $800 iPad out of their purse. And then their kid shuts up for 20 minutes until their chicken fingers get there, dude. Like, that actually makes me want to vomit, dude. I am not giving my kid a phone until they're 13. Like, like I did not have a phone until I was 13. I had a flip phone for emergencies when I was like 10 or 11, and I would take it out to walk the dog because my parents were like, you need to be able to call us or call 911 in case something happens. And I didn't get like, I didn't have a smartphone or anything until I was 13 or 14. And at that point, even 13 or 14, I had to pay for my smartphone. I had to save up and do chores and get hired by my neighbors to walk their dogs and mow the lawns to like actually be able to afford it and then appreciate the phone that I just paid up for. Instead, oh gosh, we're screwed. So yeah, that's where society has made the most significant mistakes, in my opinion, I guess it's mainly parents. It's mainly parents are the mistake. So if you're going to have a kid, I don't want to have a kid for at least a couple years because, my goodness, I'm aware of the responsibility that comes with it, and I'm not ready for that responsibility. What was your first phone? I think I bought my mom's old iPhone like 2 or 3 off of her when she upgraded. Oh, man. Move to Uganda and be off the grid. Guys, let's move to Malta. No income tax. Who's down? No income tax. That was a good question. All right. Fatty Sama said, if you had to switch the genre of your content you created, what would you change? I.e. Rust movies, storytelling. I mean, I'm kind of in a stage where I'm trying a lot of new things. We have a lot of fun content coming up that's not Valorant, or like at least at a minimum in other content, like just minimal Valorant. I'm excited. I mean, I feel grateful enough that my community is willing to watch content that isn't Valorant from me, because we've had a couple videos do really well that weren't Valorant, and I'm like, sweet. I'm feel pretty confident that I can make good content elsewhere, so I don't really feel too locked in. So, I feel like I can change content whenever I want to. So I'm like kind of chilling, but more IRL stuff, more wide-reaching ideas, good storytelling, bangers only. That's the thought. Full-time dress to impress. Wild said, can you send me a toenail? It's for science. Let's get a ban on Wild. Thank you. All right. Vampire. What would be your best advice for someone who really feels stuck in their life? We went over this earlier. I feel like I might skip this question and you might have to watch the VOD. We went over this quite a bit of things. So, vampirically spooky. You're gonna have to go back in the VOD. We had somebody ask almost exactly the same question. Except it was about school, but I think you can take the same advice we gave there, and we went over it for a couple minutes. So, all right, we're coming in with the final couple questions here. Do you actually think 7 is 6'5"? Absolutely not. Shenny said, do you think the Valorant community is at a point where a trans creator could not only find success, but be a central figure of the community similar to SK and Overwatch? I think content is king more than anything. Like, I think there's a lot of people that identify however they want to identify, and that's not really a factor into if they become a big content creator or not. Obviously, your community is going to be a big reflection of who you are as a person and how you present yourself. So, and I think there's a really big community in Valorant that is totally like supportive. I mean, obviously, the community here is amazing and super supportive. So yeah, I think like if you're gonna do it anywhere, Valorant's a great community for that. So yeah, yeah. I hope that helps answer your question. We're almost done. We just got 3 more questions. All right, Rishi, can you unmod Wallace? No. Amar, why do you actually not want to play Pico Park? Because I don't want to play with you. Flopsy, when we go in skimboarding, moving down to SB in a month. Dude, I'm down. Let's run it. Amar, why do you actually not want to play Pico Park? Because I don't want to play with you. Almonds, if given enough money, would you go full-time at Banjo-Kazooie? No, if given enough money, I would go full-time in RuneScape. Boodart said, come to Banff. I'm so down. And guys, with that, we are caught up on all the questions. That's it. Close the queues. Close the questions. We did it. The Q&A is over. We went through the queue, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Nope, one more. How many pounds of cheese you can eat? 0. I'm lactose intolerant. Thank you, Fatty Sama, for the final question. All right, guys, that's it. If we made this into a Keeoh Plus video, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the questions. I don't know what just happened. Okay, goodbye.